Hey folks, so I'm gets back from my vacation and today we will talk about a couple of concepts that actually connected with each other. And it's about sovereign data for sure, and it's about the sovereign use of the sovereign identity. So the first concept is the holistic identity. So holistic identity is not a technical term, it's rather the philosophical term for me. And what kind of problem holistic identity try to solve? That you know um, in a current setup with the identity systems that are authoritative and silos and belongs to companies, and we have a problem of the fragmentation of the data about yourself. So you do not have all the data. You have some data in one platform, some data in another platform. The good visualization of this, for example, it's your password manager, because you need to maintain a different identities for the different platforms. Then you need to memorize this password-based things. And for example, if you are the meloman and like the music, you could have a couple of audio platforms that you use, and you could not share the information between this platform because this data not belongs to you. So the problem of the fragmentation of the data and your digital copy, let's say, it's solved by the holistic identity, because you have something that allows you to identify and to allow us to aggregate all your data that identify you. Because for me, the identity, it's not just some magic identifier or login and password. It's rather some snapshot of all the data points about you, some data points about others that you stated in some point of time, together with your behavior. And actually the behavior, it's the data itself. So your activity, your posts and all other things. So it forms some kind of another concept that quite important to talk. It's the digital twin. So maybe you have heard about the second brain, and I use some even programs. I use Obsidian with the casting, that you offload the information to the digital storage. You have ability to work with this information. It's already the good thing, but your digital twin is much more. This is a continuation of your holistic identity, that you somehow aggregate all the data points about you, all the data points that was produced by you, and try to get some benefits out of it. And your digital twin is just a digital copy of you and all your data that controlled by you. So that's the main idea, that you have all these data points as sovereign verifiable data, that people could see that this data belongs to you, that you, for example, could sell this data. It's a lot of interesting possibilities with the digital twin. So you could interact with your digital twin and maybe get some insights. It's priceless when we combine the idea of the digital twin with the data insights that the artificial intelligence could give to us. Yeah, we could create the agents that create the large language models interfaces. Yeah, that you could talk with your digital twin with the prompts. Yeah, so this is a combination of the sovereign data, SSI, and artificial intelligence. So now you could talk with your digital twin, get some insights, run some models, well trained, that give you some insights in some particular areas, maybe some specific models in some specific domains like healthcare, finances, based on this data actually. And when you have your digital twin, you don't need to be online and you don't need to be present. Maybe some other platforms like travel platforms will ask some things about you, and you could sell this data, or you could get some benefits from this data. The big area, for example, that businesses are fighting for is the personalization, and the digital twin with the artificial intelligence, it's the perfect case of the personalization. Yeah, so they could ask what you like, or for example, automate a bit the shopping, automate a bit travel. It will change the travel actually domain completely. Yeah, So, or even the restaurants and your food preferences, together with the healthcare that give you a bit more healthy but still tasty experience, and maybe some make more varieties in your life and so on. So it's amazing area, amazing domain. So, and the next thing that I already talked about this in my previous video, that on practice your identity is not monolithic. Your identity is rather the broad network of the different identities, and to reflect this we could have something like autonomous agents. And this one is quite cool because it's the next step from the digital twin. That on practice it's not the digital twin, it's digital twins, because you could have a lot of specific agents that could do a lot of different operations. And these agents will be always online. These agents could have the access to the portion of your data. These agents could have the access to some particular identities, particular relations with the other parties, and they could do some task on behalf of you. For example, they could book the table, they could buy the tickets, they could do the trading operations or watch on your investment portfolio, or they just could be the traders of your data on the data exchanges, and they could automate the routine tasks, and they could do a lot of things. For example, they could analyze the data from your digital twin and do some actions on top of it. And it's yet another huge area where we could use the artificial intelligence, where we could use the automation, where we could use the smart algorithm and all other things. So for me, these three big topics, the holistic identity is the cornerstone, because you need to have a way to have a sovereign person and to have a proof that this data belongs to you. And the next one is the concept of the digital twin and the autonomous agents. Because autonomous agents, they could cooperate with each other, they could create the trust networks, they could automate some tasks based on quite complex flows and payments, and here it could be quite interesting domain of micropayments. Yeah, how we could pay for some tiny operations to another agent, and maybe this operations is just a fraction of some cryptocurrency or maybe some real money. So this will be the future, this will be the big topic of next couple of years. I hope that I will work more actively in this domain. If you do something cool with the autonomous agents, or with the self-sovereign identity, or maybe you are the guru of the artificial intelligence, because I'm not right now, so just let me know. I'm quite keen to have a call with you and understand your use cases, and let's build a better future together. So that's all that I was keen to share to you today, and see you next time.